Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you are all here. For today's video, we are going to be doing a pick a card, and we're going to be looking at what your, well, we're going to kind of be reflecting on 2022 for you guys, mostly looking at what your biggest lesson of the year was. You know, sometimes we go through all these different like how you say that word now? I'll just say turbulent times in our life, and we're like, okay, what is the universe, spirit, God, whatever you connect to or call it, trying to tell me right now? Like, you know, these things keep on happening, but what is the actual lesson that I can take from this? I just want to help you guys like finish off the year on a, not necessarily a high, but like, you know, just really owning your lessons and making sure that they're just, you know, embedded in there, so that we don't have to redo them. We don't have to repeat any lessons from this year. You know, we can enter 2023 with a fresh start because we know why things were happening in our life, what our spiritual growth was from this year. We also will be looking at just some guidance to help you guys enter into 2023 smoothly as well. So yeah, let's see what we got going on. We got some Christmassy vibes happening here. This is as Christmassy as I could get it right, you know, right now. So I hope this brings a little bit of cheer into the reading, and let's get into the reading, and I will show you the options that I have for you today. Okay, so here are the 4 options that I have for you today. Starting off over here with option number 1, we have black tourmaline. Next up with option number 2, we have Lapis Lazuli. Our third option, we have Tiger's Eye. And finally, with option number 4, we have Blue Howlite. Okay, I want you now to take a deep breath in and out, and ask yourself which of these options has a message for you. Could definitely be more than one, because it is just talking about spiritual lessons, and you know, you might have had more than one this year, or more, maybe it takes 2 to bring the whole message together. We'll see, but yeah, go with whatever you're feeling, whether that's 1, 2, 3, or all of them. Sometimes tarot is weird like that. Right, and I will see you all at your reading. Before we begin, please do remember this is a general reading, so only take what resonates and leave the rest behind, because you are not the ugly stepsister. Please do not force that shoe onto your foot. Alright, hi there, option number 1. Those of you who chose this black tourmaline here, welcome to your reading. So as we enter the new year, I do want to remind you guys that I have personal tarot readings. In particular, the year ahead tarot report is a good one to get as we enter the new year. It basically gives you a whole rundown of your love life, your career and finances, general messages and spiritual alignment messages. And you can also ask up to 3 of your own questions as well. That's all included in the price. I have several readings that include me recordings just like this. So if you prefer more of a personal touch, you can get a what I need to know reading, you can get an inner child reading, a career reading, or a love reading, which are all recorded readings. If you're interested in getting a personal tarot reading, or you want to inquire about getting a personal tarot reading, you can head down below and click the link in the description, and that will take you to that page and give you all the information that you need to know about all of the tarot readings that I offer. I want to quickly mention as well that I do have a virtual tip bar if anyone is interested in adding donations to this channel, or you like to tip your readers or anything like that. I do have that option down below as well if any of you guys are interested. But yeah, let's get into your reading now. So I have already pulled your tarot cards for you. Okay, so before we begin properly, I feel like when I was pulling these cards, first of all, it took a lot for your cards to come out, a lot of shuffling, and then they all kind of just fell out in like a whole bunch together. Well, these three anyway, because these two are from a different deck. But I definitely feel a very spiritual connection with your pile, and also I feel like you maybe experienced a lot of emotional lessons or emotion. It's like now I can't think of the words, but I literally was just thinking about what I wanted to say a second ago. There's a lot of emotional depth to your pile anyway. I'll say that for what's in my head. There might have been a lot of ups and downs in 2022, lots of challenges that you had to face and overcome, especially with this, as I'm taken to this Five of Wands here. It was a year of building stability for yourself, maybe for your family as well, building some kind of legacy even. Something that makes you feel, it could be finances, but makes you feel stable, makes you feel secure in yourself. I heard adulthood, so it might have been like your almost like your passage into adulthood, in terms of like, you know, you have this idea of adulthood. I don't know how old you guys all are, but you have this idea of adulthood being like when you're financially stable, when you've kind of got like your home or the place that you live in, all that kind of like stuff in order. That's like the, not the meaning of adulthood, but the big significant difference between being a child or being a teenager and being an adult. Obviously some teenagers do have to do that a lot quicker than others, but whatever age you're at, whatever stage you're at, I feel like 2022 was a lot about creating some kind of foundation for yourself, and this could have been or felt like almost your passage into adulthood. So this Two of Cups, the word I get is connection. Might have been romantic for some of you guys, it might have not been. I'm not really getting a specific feeling for that. You might have even felt like you missed connection in 2022 as well. It might have felt quite isolating. Like I'm almost be taken to this tent in the back of this card. I feel like your energy is back here in this tent. The tent that has been built, the symbol of stability in this card, yet two people here are kind of enjoying themselves, having fun. I don't feel like you're here. I feel like you're back here in this safe haven, this home. So 2022 did entail a some kind of spiritual growth, because we have the High Priestess here. You have quite elevated cards as well, in terms of you have the Queen of Pentacles and the High Priestess here. Again, I'm taken to the pomegranates at the back of this card, and how pomegranates, I think, symbolize like birth, fertility, that type of thing. So you could have been given, like when I'm talking about this passage into adulthood, it feels very new. It feels like almost when you're having your first child, like you're not quite sure what is right, what is wrong. You don't know everything yet. And the first is normally like the one that's kind of like the trial phase almost. But regardless of that energy, it's still human. It's still something that needs to be cared for. It's still something that you love, and it's still something that takes a lot of work and is respected, and you know, holds the same value as anything else that you're going to do, or any other children that you're going to have. Like, it's that kind of feeling. I hear mentally challenging when I look at this Five of Wands, even though it is a Wands card, so I'll be intrigued to know what kind of clarifiers come out for this spread right here. So I might do that now actually. Pull this some clarifiers. Right, we're going for the Vice Versa Tarot. I'm getting that song that's like, I can't change, even if I try, even if I wanted to. My love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. Which I think I've had for a pile before, so you might have had that in another reading of mine. I feel like it's a song that I never listen to, but for some reason it always comes up in like my readings. So I'll link this thing down below if I can figure out what it was called. Oh, it might be called Same Love by Macklemore. Or I might just be making that up, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Can we clarify this spread, please? First starting off with the High Priestess. Too many. Perfect, the High Priestess face. Yeah, again, your energy is taking a lot of shuffling. I don't quite know what that means. I might zoom out a little bit so you can see these cards. But it's just taking a lot. For the High Priestess, please. Right, I'll take this one. You have the Strength card coming out here. I hear like facing your fears, facing your demons, I heard. Sorry, my eye is itching me. Clarify the Two of Cups, please. Oh, there we go. Queen of Pentacles again. Sorry about the lighting, guys. I feel like you can't really see the cards too well. There we go. Queen of Pentacles. Again, she's alone, even though this is the Two of Cups. So you may have felt, and again, it's feminine energy. So either you really connect to having a lot of feminine energy naturally within you. I mean, everyone's got naturally both energies, but you know, like you connect more deeply with the feminine energy. Again, I did pick up on a lot of emotions from you guys and emotional depth as well. Also, I'm taken to these lemons. I don't know what lemons mean. I don't know what lemons mean in terms of like a spiritual meaning, but I will either put it on the screen if I find out. There's a lot of, I find when I have it comes to like very spiritual piles, I pick on a lot of like little things. Like not the obvious meaning, like, you know, very oh my god, I feel like I can't talk properly as well. It's almost like very spiritual people have to, or this might just be you naturally, you pick up on very subtle things, very like, it's not in your face. Like say someone changes their emotion, like someone's face changes and you just kind of pick up that they're feeling sad or they're feeling anxious, whereas most people wouldn't get that or wouldn't notice that. Okay, can I find the Five of Wands for this pile, please? Spiritual lesson 2022. Where's the Five of Wands here? Right, so that is the Judgment card. I want to take it that side. Judgment. I remember one time there was like a reading where I flipped, like a card came in reverse or something and I like flipped them the other way, and someone's kind of questioning why I did that. It's because sometimes even though a card comes out a certain way, I just feel like it needs to be a different way because of how I'm going to interpret it, if that makes sense. Does that even make sense? Like the way I need to interpret it as my human brain, it just needs to be a different way. Maybe I need to look at the image a bit more or something like that, you know? So yeah, but I still mentally take it into account. Like for example, this it came out like this and then it kind of like flipped like this, but I feel like I need to look at this side for whatever reason. So I don't know why I needed to say that for some reason, but yeah, okay. Clarify that 4 of Wands, please. So we have the Knight of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles. Again, lots of Pentacles coming out in your reading. You have a lot of Pentacles and a lot of fire energy. Like this card, even though it's not necessarily fire, it's giving me very like very fiery energy. And finally, clarify the Queen of Pentacles, please. There's something to do with this 8 of Wands as well that's standing out to me here. So do you know what? Let me put it here and we will pull another card for the Queen of Wands. Queen of Pentacles even, not Queen of Wands. Here we go, we have the Queen, again, more feminine energy, Queen of Swords. And you know what? Actually no, I'll do this in a second. Oh gosh, I can't pick it up. Right, I'll do that in a second. Okay, let's see what we have here. Let's make sense of this a little bit more. So yeah, these 5 of Pentacles and King of sorry, why do I keep wanting to say King of Pentacles? Maybe you guys are either connected to a soulmate or feel like you have feel like you have a soulmate, or feel like you are looking for your person, because I keep wanting to say King of Pentacles and you have the Queen of Pentacles out here. So it's almost like your counterpart isn't here yet for some of you guys, maybe. And you're almost trying to get yourself, again, you guys have this almost, what's the word, not foreknowing, but precognition that your life is meant to be a certain way. Almost like people who know that they have a twin flame or a soulmate out there, or people who always felt like they're meant to have a certain purpose in their life. Like you guys almost have that. So this 2022 feels like you guys were getting ready or preparing the things to live the life that you always known that you're meant to have. I'm being like taken to the idea of people who think there will be like an apocalypse, or who think the world are going to end, and they prepare for that moment, like by stocking up and by, you know, building a safe place or whatever it is, you know, like that kind of mindset. And truly, like internally, they believe that. And I'm not saying that your belief is wrong or anything like that, but that's just the energy I get from this part. Is like you guys were preparing for this belief that you have about how you're meant to live your life, or how you're going to live your life. So yeah, the 5 of Pentacles here and the King of Pentacles. Again, feeling quite isolated or lonely on this journey in 2022. Feeling like you've had to kind of really do a lot of stuff by yourself. You feel tired as well. Like look how tired this horse looks. This horse looks exhausted from carrying the load. But yet it's necessary. It's necessary to build this 4 of Wands, to build this stability, right? The foundation can be tiring, it can be boring, it can be laborious, but it's necessary. And what grows from this is beautiful. Like I've never noticed how beautiful this almost 5 of Pentacles looking stained glass window is, compared to this very stark white cold environment. But this idea, this family, it almost looks like a family tree, right? So this thing that you're building for yourself, this idea, it might be family, like we see with the 2 of Pentacles, a partnership, a home, safety, belonging, whatever it is, might sound a bit weird there. Whatever it is, it's beautiful. Like, it's very, very beautiful. And you see these almost flowers in here as well. Very Queen of Pentacles-esque. Very earth energy coming through here. And earth signs understand that in order to get where you want to go, in order to have those successes, like think Capricorn placements, think Taurus placements, think Virgo placements, and how hard working those people are, and how hard working that energy is to get where they want to go. So it is funny that I felt drawn to the Eight of Wands, and then we had the Queen of Swords coming out. Two cards that both talk about communication here. Communication. There is some shelteredness, there is some shielding from others in 2022. And there is also a level of barren. Is that what I want to call it? Is that the word that's coming to me? Like, if I look at these cards, if I look at this King of Pentacles, he literally looks like he's in the desert. It's like this cold, isolating place. Even here with the Four of Wands, this place that you've built, this foundation you built for yourself, it's the only one in this whole setting. You know, it still looks like it's kind of on this mountainous desert place. There's no one really else around. This kind of cavey setting. Again, very isolating, very daunting. And then for the last card, I'll show you this Strength card. These trees looking very bare. This grass looking very dry. So I don't know if this is just the lack of maybe growth that you saw in 2022 and a perception of that. Because like even I'm taking back again to the Strength card, and even though the trees are very, what did I call it, dry, even though there's not much on the trees, like there's no leaves, there are these little kind of buds forming, these kind of fruits forming, but they haven't sprouted yet. It's not blossomed yet. So again, that foundation mentioning here, that energy of foundation coming through here. And I'm also being taken to the moon on this High Priestess, this moon down here. So another symbolism of you guys being very emotionally connected. Almost being very overwhelmed by your emotions as well, maybe in 2022. I feel like this moon is drowning. Being taken like under the current sometimes, not being able to catch your breath sometimes. Okay, interesting. Let's look at this card here. So we have the Threshold here for your biggest lesson of 2022. The Threshold. Isn't that interesting? Like those colours, this bright orange. You see how I say sometimes I need to turn it a certain way? I wouldn't get that if I saw it this way. And I don't know why I keep mentioning this to you. Okay, so the Threshold here. Let's see what this message has for us. Okay, so the key words for the Threshold are the door, the gate, and the initiation. We cross thresholds continuously, consciously, and unconsciously. Doorways, gates, and entryways grace our path on a daily basis. When this card arises, it signifies that the precipice you stand upon is not your typical one. However, you have arrived at a threshold of initiation, here to usher you into a new reality. It requires you to leave behind the you that you thought was so well formed. A new frontier calls. This is not easy work. Threshold initiation means a part of you will be lost in order to make space for what is next. A metaphorical death must occur. Some may not recognize you. You may struggle to recognize yourself. The ground seems to crumble as you free fall into your new reality. This is the liminal realm. One step, dear friend. Just take that one necessary step towards the future that calls you. So many keywords in there. Future, metaphorical death, new reality, initiation, struggle, doorway, gates, many words, sorry, goodness me. Right, so the High Priestess is literally a gate to the other world, to the spiritual world. The High Priestess sits between the gate of the 3D, this world, whatever it is called, whatever, and the spiritual world. And that's how she has access to that spiritual knowledge. It's not because she's in the spiritual world, but she's at the gate of it. You see this white and black here? She has access to both. Oh my gosh, now I think about it, I think this card actually talks about a kind of initiation. So on this side of the card it says the devil looms up before the Empress and her lion. Okay, so again you have the Empress here. So very, very high level beings in the tarot deck. With the Empress, the High Priestess, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords as well. So again, you are being pushed to that high level being, that place of almost all-knowing, not in like an egoic way, but in like a level of wisdom that these people with these titles hold. So the devil looms up before the Empress and her lion. The sunlight is eerily dimmed as by an eclipse. In this muted light, the sign of infinity above her head grows with increased energy. She is the life force itself. The strength of that cannot be conquered by the power of darkness. She and the lion don't even bother to stand up. The devil can threaten, but he cannot destroy what refuses to be destroyed. Face your shadow selves, your ideas about power and your reluctance to claim it. Release old chains of bondage to anyone who had power over you in the past. You don't have to repeat the pattern. Abuse doesn't always foster more abuse. Confront your demons. Isn't it funny I used the word demons? Oh, okay. But yeah, you're getting to that. 2022 really took you to that level of basically owning who you are, like not being afraid anymore to be that person that you've always wanted to be. Again, taking back to, you guys have this idea of yourself, or this concept of who you will be or what you came here to be. And 2022, the lesson was about not backing down from that idea that you have, because it is your destiny, it is who you're meant to be. Here when we have that word death coming through, and rebirth, a new life, a new beginning, you see these people are naked. They're being brought, they have had their, how do I say it? I wanted to say they have had their doomsday. If we talk about it biblically, like God has come, God has judged them, and they have been reborn from this. It's taking me to the 8th house. So maybe some of you guys have Scorpio placements. Maybe you've had some kind of 8th house, strong 8th house transits this year. I know Taurus was in the North Node, I think, this year. So if you had a Taurus 8th house, that will give you a Libra rising. And if you had any other planets or anything transiting strongly in your 8th house, what was I saying? Yeah, so the 8th house isn't literal death. It's that metaphorical death. It's the death of who you once were so that you can be reborn. It's transformation. Very Plutonic. Again, maybe you've had strong Pluto transits or connections this year as well. So you guys have been reborn or been going through a kind of rebirth in 2022. It's almost like, yeah, I just get this feeling that you're not afraid. You're not afraid to be burned. There's 5 of Wands, not literally burned, but like You see these guys like trying to touch this fire. They're not afraid of the fire. They're not afraid of the light, in terms of like the light, in terms of the good, in terms of seeing spiritual concepts, seeing, maybe if some of you guys literally see like spirits and stuff like that, and you kind of have that spiritual gift, and maybe that's come forward this year as well, because you're not afraid anymore. You're not afraid to see like what people say, or what the kind of idea is that, you know, hate isn't the opposite of love, it's fear. So when you don't love, it's because you're afraid, which makes a lot of sense. And a good book, if you haven't read it, is A Return to Love, because that talks about that kind of concept a lot. And that's kind of one of the books that I read that kind of wrapped my head around that concept like so much better, I should say. Like I started making sense of what it is to really love someone or love something unconditionally. And again, here we have that Two of Cups coming through. And as I'm talking about almost being unapologetically yourself, and I was changing that battery, I kind of was humming the song, baby I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, baby I'm sorry, not sorry. I don't know if that relates, but I feel like it's kind of that idea of like not apologizing anymore for who you are. Yeah, not apologizing anymore for who you are. So let's take some more oracle cards to see your lesson. I feel like yours is less like one single lesson. Not that I necessarily thought these were going to be like a single lesson, but it's like a passage, like a rite of passage almost, to, like I said, to get that title of Queen of Pentacles, High Priestess, Empress, like those really significant leaders in the tarot deck, talking about tarot deck, but also in life. To be a leader in life, you have to go through those challenges, you have to be put through the tests, so that when you talk about those things, when you say, hey, whatever your thing is, say it's like, what is it called then? What is something that you could have? So let's say like people in Dragon's Den, or whatever you guys have wherever you're from, those people who invest in people and be like, okay, that's a good idea, that's not a good idea. Those people have also had their challenges in growing their business. If we talk about some legitimate people who haven't just had like their family's money passed down to them or whatever, haven't had that kind of influence, who have really been like from the bottom and really just built up a kind of empire for themselves. Those people are leaders in their field because they've been through those challenges. They know what they're talking about. You can't have that status unless you've really had that experience. Otherwise you're just talking out your ass. And some people can get away with it, but most people can't, you know. So your Romance Oracle cards, is we have very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And we also have getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. And we also have, I'm sorry, you probably could not see the cards as I'm doing that, but first quarter moon, your commitment is being tested. To me, it's very interesting that this is like a first quarter moon. It's almost like your first, where I keep repeating this message of like, it's like your first stage into this new life. It's the beginning stage. And I'm not saying like every single stage is going to be this difficult and this hard, but you know, 4 quarters makes up the whole. So this is your first quarter of this, your first challenge. And this one says your commitment is being tested. So that is mostly your lesson for 2022, was that it was, can this person who says that they want this, who says that this is for them, this is their purpose, are they really committed to this? Are they committed to achieving this? Or are they just like, you know, gonna bail out? It was almost like a spiritual initiation for you to go to have that real connection to the underworld, to the spiritual world, because people who have that connection almost have a one-up on some people, because they know who to trust and who not to trust. They know what paths to take and what paths not to take. And to have that gift almost, not everyone will use that gift wisely. So in a way, this was like, okay, is this person who they say they are, basically. So with very soon here, I just feel like it comes down to, a lot of this was like making decisions for yourself and deciding what you want. Again, coming down to, you say you want this, but do you really want this? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for what it takes to be this person that you want to be? And reveal your innermost selves to each other. I feel like it's just about you. It was about you facing your demons, facing your fears, facing your shadows, you know, and really thinking about, and that message keeps coming to me, really thinking about, I say I want this, but do I really want this for the right reasons? Do I really, is this really right for me, basically, almost? Do I want it enough to have those difficult experiences? Okay, so I think that's going to be the end of us looking at 2022. We're just going to have a little bit of guidance messages for the next year, so for 2023. So I'm just going to prepare this and then we'll come back. Okay, so let's start off with these self-care cards for the year 2022, just to kind of help you, just guidance card for bringing in the new year, you know. Sorry, this is like friggin' deciding where to focus on, and I'm like, it's me, focus on me. Anyway, so you guys have deep breathing and you have intuition. So your intuition is really going to be guiding you in the new year, and that's what you should be trusting. That's what you should be following. Like, you've gone through this initiation now. You know you're connected to the spiritual world. You know that the nudges you have and the insights you have are from the higher realms, are true. So you need to trust that when you go into the new year. You know, don't just be like, don't fall back into the habit of like second guessing yourself, sorry. And when you are feeling anxious, when you are feeling like unsure, deep breathing is going to be the way to go for the new year, okay? And we also have You Glow, We Beam, Thanks. It says, in case anyone should ask, your heart isn't so large because of your wings. It's your wings that are so large because of your heart. Sometimes loving so much can be pretty heavy. Thanks for all you've shared, the universe. So, again, yeah, you guys feel very deeply. You have a big heart, and it's almost like a message of like, your external things. So say if you have money, say if you're really beautiful, you have, I don't know, anything that people love about you, anything that people want to be your friend for, want to be in partnerships with you for, it's not because of all these external things. It's because of who you are internally. It's because of your heart. And the more you are your authentic self, the happier your spirit guides are, the happier your angels are, the happier whoever you connect to is, your ancestors are. So continue that as you enter the new year as well. And finally, I'm going to take some of these. I'm going to shuffle some of these. I haven't used these in a while, and I really wanted to find a way to use it in this reading. So what they are is basically like personality traits, but what I'm going to do is do it for the kind of energies or themes that will be following you into 2023. So I'm going to kind of twist the messages a little bit to make sense, but you guys will see. Okay, so for 2023, for those who chose black tourmaline, please. Those who chose the black tourmaline, let's bring your crystal in. I always forget to, like, you know, put your crystal in view. Sorry about that. Those who chose black tourmaline for 2023, what can they expect? Can I do a shuffle? Okay. Somebody's come up. Maybe that one? That might be not. Okay. There we go. Let's see what we got here. So this one came out first. So popular in the community, so you might be getting some kind of community recognition in your community. Again, like I said, this year has, or last, yeah, this year, I'm gonna upload this in 2022, but this year has been a lot about you having an initiation into becoming a leader. So in order to be a leader, you kind of need a community or someone like that, someone who you can really go out and help, right? So you guys are going to be getting some kind of recognition in 2023 so that you can, all these things that you've learned and all these lessons and experiences that you've had, you're going to have an outlet or people who want to also hear about that or learn from that or feel connected to your journey in some way, okay? A homebody coming out here, so you guys might be spending a lot of time at home. So maybe that isolation will be continuing a little bit in 2023, where you feel like you're just needing to be around your own energy more and not really going out and doing things so much. We have ambitious here, so your ambitions are not going to die down in 2023. Sorry if I've been saying 2022 there. So your ambitions are not going to be dying down in 2023. You're still going to be very ambitious. You're going to have a lot of goals, a lot of things that you want to achieve. We have Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. So you might have those placements. Again, Taurus placements might be still heavily influencing you in 2023. Or you might just be experiencing a lot of Taurasian qualities. So maybe you are getting a lot of financial opportunities in 2023. Goodness me. 2023, maybe you're growing your income, your finances. Maybe you're indulging a lot. Yeah, maybe the things that you value are changing as well. Something like that. Oh, maybe there was more than I needed to say for that one. We'll see. Hold on. Also hardworking as well. You're going to be continuing to work very hard in 2023. Mysterious. So like homebody, maybe you're going to be... People are going to find you very mysterious in 2023, maybe because you're saying no to going out or you're not really being around so many people. So people are kind of like, what is this person up to? Like, they can't quite figure out what you're doing in 2023, but you know where you're going. You know what's up, you know? It doesn't matter about them. We have teeth, so maybe you're going to be going to the dentist, getting your teeth checked out. Maybe you're doing some cosmetic surgery on your teeth. Maybe your teeth are going to have a lot of importance for you. Again, teeth fall into the second house because I don't remember why, but I know that information for some reason. So maybe your second house is going to have a lot of importance for you. And that is also Taurasian energy. So there we go. We have the word arrogant here. So either people are going to think you're arrogant, either you might be coming across some arrogant people, or you're just going to have a lot of self-confidence in 2023. We have idealist, so you're going to have, your beliefs are going to be very big. You're going to be thinking very idealistic about life and about the opportunities that are available to you, being very optimistic about things. We have sweet and innocent, so I don't even know how to interpret this, but there's a lot of sweetness in 2023 in the new year. There might be some new experiences as well coming because of innocence. There might be like some lessons that you need to learn in terms of like not being so naive maybe. But sometimes innocence isn't always a bad thing. So, you know, protect your innocence, guys. We have the energy of ESTJ. This is the executives and the sentinels. You guys might want to look that up a little bit. Or maybe I'll put some information on screen. That could be a personality type that you guys already have. Or you might be meeting up people with a lot of that energy as well. Or you even yourself might be exhibiting a lot of that energy. We have friendly. So maybe you are meeting a lot of friendly people. Maybe you are being in a very friendly and open energy. Extrovert. So again, you might be being in a very extroverted energy, wanting to socialize, wanting to get out there. Even though we did have that homebody. So, I mean, you can be extroverted when you're out and when you're with people and, you know, be very confident around them, but still have that internal desire to, like, you enjoy your own space, you enjoy being at home, you know, you enjoy your home comforts and stuff like that. So even though they sound contradictory, they don't necessarily have to be. Attentive, so you might be very attentive to your own needs. I feel like there was a thing that kind of follows that, but I can't remember what the word was. So yeah, really paying attention to your own needs and your own desires. So again, that kind of homebody thing, like if you're not really feeling going out, you're not going to just ignore how you're feeling to please other people. You're more so going to be like, I'm not really in the mood right now, so I'm just not going to go. Again, more very Taurasian as well, so a lot of Taurus energy following you into the new year. Oh, also you could have a second house or be going into your second house Profection year. So that is if you are aged 25. Oh, 25, and there'll be more. I'll put them on the screen. I realized that you have it more than once if you're 2 years old. So we also have introverted here as well. So again, like you're going to have both. A bit of an ambivert energy happening in 2023. And last but not least, cheerful. So pretty much having a very cheerful, uplifting, positive energy in the new year. So that is this reading for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below and let me know what you thought. Let me know how it resonated with you. And yeah, happy holidays if you don't end up watching any more of my videos for 2022. Happy holidays to you, whatever belief you hold, whether December is significant for you or not, it doesn't matter. I hope you just have a good season, and I will see you all very soon. Bye. Hi there, option number 2. Welcome to your reading. Those of you who chose the Lapis Lazuli here, hey, welcome. So as we enter the new year, I do want to remind you guys that I have personal tarot readings. In particular, the year ahead tarot report is a good one to get as we enter the new year. It basically gives you a whole rundown of your love life, your career and finances, general messages and spiritual alignment messages. And you can also ask up to 3 of your own questions as well. That's all included in the price. I have several readings that include me recordings just like this. So if you prefer more of a personal touch, you can get a what I need to know reading. You can get an inner child reading, a career reading or a love reading, which are all recorded readings. If you're interested in getting a personal tarot reading or you want to inquire about getting a personal tarot reading, you can head down below and click the link in the description, and that will take you to that page and give you all the information that you need to know about all of the tarot readings that I offer. I do want to quickly mention as well that I do have a virtual tip bar if anyone is interested in adding donations to this channel, or you like to tip your readers or anything like that. I do have that option down below as well if any of you guys are interested. But yeah, let's get into your reading now. This reading seems like it's going to be taking a little while, so buckle up, buckle yourself up. I have already picked your tarot cards for you. I have already pulled your tarot cards for you, so I will bring those out now. Okay, so we are starting off with the vice versa tarot deck. You guys might have some Piscean energy because I feel very heavy siren. I don't know why, but I feel very siren energy from you. It's also making me think of people who feel connected to like mermaids or something like that. So maybe you really like mermaids, maybe you feel connected to mermaids, particularly if you believe in like the existence of mythical creatures. Maybe I should call them that if you believe in it. Apologies. I really don't. Why does this dog bark every single time I'll be filming? Anyway, I really don't like judge on anything like that. I mean, like, I'm into tarot, so what can I say? Do you know what I mean? Like, what can I really be saying? So yeah, if you feel like you connect to anything like that, then this could be you. Doesn't have to be, of course. And anyway, in particular, this Queen of Cups energy is very significant for you guys, since I saw it when I was pulling your cards, and then it also when I was shuffling your cards, sorry, and whenever one card stands out to me, it most likely comes out. So we see it here anyway. You also might just be connected to like the beach, water, shells, or anything like that. Okay, so your lesson for 2022 is... No, I feel like I filmed the other part for too long. Now I'm a bit like kooky. Sorry about that. Oh, interesting. One lesson I see here, one message that I see here for you guys was about something about wearing a mask. I feel like a lot of the energies here are kind of hiding themselves away. Somehow their face is hidden in some way. Even here with the Five of Cups, you know, he's got this kind of hood on his head. He's not looking directly at us. At us. This version of the Seven of Pentacles, he's got his back to us. The Queen of Cups has got their back to us as well, you know. So why do you guys have your back to me? I feel slightly offended. No, I'm joking. There's also an energy of like scalding. Do you guys know what I mean? Like someone who, when they scold you, like there's an energy of that, like some kind of disappointment in you. I'm getting it from this Six of Cups card here, which is an energy I've not got from this card before. It might just be you scolding yourself. Sorry about. That's just all I feel from this guy though. It's like there's a disappointment here, but again, clarifying that actually we do have the Five of Cups in the energy of really focusing on that disappointment. So you guys feel disappointed about how either something specific transpired in 2022, or in general you feel disappointed by whatever happened. Just the year 2022, the energy of 2022 feels disappointing to you for some reason. There's like an energy of feeling very, it's not cold, it's like guarded. It's almost like you guys could be Cancers or have Cancer placements as well. There's a prickliness here. Yeah, again, the word disappointed is just coming out here. And if we know anything about disappointment or feeling a certain kind of disappointment, as valid as it is, 100% valid, 100%. Never just, you know, discredit any emotions that you have, even if it feels always, you're told that it's negative. Like, don't do that. You have to feel it. You have to. We are humans at the end of the day, you know? And if there's anything we can't control, it's usually our emotions. So yeah, but if there's anything that we get told about in kind of like the spiritual concepts, I don't know, I need a word for describing the idea of spirituality, or the ideology, you could say, of spirituality. Anyway, if there's anything we get told about disappointment, is that when we miss out on something, it's always because there was something better. Or whenever something didn't turn out in the way that we wanted it, it's because it was never meant to be anyway, right? So as you guys are reflecting on the year, I feel you looking back and thinking of all the opportunities that you missed, or all the things that didn't work out in the way that you wanted them to. There might also be some embarrassment, or feeling ashamed, feeling embarrassed, feeling exposed, something like that as well. Those energies could be also intertwining with this disappointment as well. You know, it's almost like telling people that you were going to uni or something like that, or you're telling people, or you told people at the beginning of this year that you were going to do something, and at the end of the year, either it didn't work out in the way that you hoped it would, or it just felt like it wasn't for you, or something happened. I can't really see specifics, like I can't see like real examples for you guys right now. I don't know why. Maybe there's just a broad range of things that happened, or a lot of people are connecting to this energy. But regardless, whatever it is, there could be some kind of like embarrassment or shame attributed to this as well. It could be like the impact of authority figures as well coming through here. It's almost like authority figures haven't given you a certain kind of recognition that you were looking for from the work that you put in or something that you did. Again, it's like saying that you wanted to go to uni because really the real reason you wanted to go to uni was because your parents kind of pushed it on you to impress your parents or to, you know, make them happy in some way. But when you got there, you had to drop out because of maybe mental health issues, or maybe just things weren't working for you in the way that you hoped it would, and you had to drop out or something like that. Maybe you had to go back home and go to a home uni, you know, just so that you could have that support, which is nothing to be ashamed of at all. Absolutely not. And I think that is the lesson here. Sorry, let me just continue that one thing that I was kind of on. So it's like you feel there's a sense of disappointment both in yourself but also from a particular authority figure like a parent or something like that as well, for the fact that a situation, an opportunity, or something that you did put work into, that you invested maybe time or money into, or just emotions into, didn't work out as of yet. Like I'm hearing the word a closed door. And it, you know, on this card here, and this Ace of Pentacles, you see how these two people are like ignoring this hand up in the air, this opportunity, and how these doors are all closed. Sometimes I feel like when I see this side, it feels like a joker or someone trying to get attention, but then they can't, or there's something missing, like they can't quite grasp the attention that they're looking for at this moment. So yeah, where was I going with that? The lesson. Fudge. Oh, I wish I had just said it then, because now I'm kind of forgetting. Do you know what I want to look at? What this card says about this version of the Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, sorry. I'm getting very cold, so I'm like trying to ignore that feeling. Where's the cups now? It says this is the inner self of this deck of the Queen of Cups. The Queen sits under the star-strewn night sky. Moonlight casts a silvery path on the water. Though we cannot see the moon itself, let me reread that. Moonlight casts a silvery path on the water, though we cannot see the moon itself. The back of the throne reveals the mirrored seashells that encrust it, which glow with unearthly luminance. This queen has known heartbreak and loss, but rather than retreating into a shell, she has chosen to stay open to beauty and love, and to let pain transform into compassion. Dwelling as she does on and with the sea, she is attuned to the tides and the moon that commands them. Her dreams go deep, and she is often dream-bound long after awakening. A great blue heron is carved into the jade of her throne, symbolizing balance and self-reliance. The biggest secret this loving queen may keep is that she would be just fine on her own if she wanted to be. Oh, I feel like I definitely needed to read that message for you guys. That is exactly it, and I think that's why this queen was standing out to me so much from the beginning as your kind of main energy here. This feels like you, and it's also your lesson, or your biggest lesson of 2022, is that where I'm saying you kind of feel this lack of recognition from others, it's because you don't need it. Your soul doesn't need it, right? Your ego might desire it or want it, but your soul doesn't need it. Because whatever you were doing, and who you are at your core anyway, regardless of anything else, just the beauty of your heart as it is, without the work that you put in, without doing things for others, just your existence in itself is a gift to the world, to people. Just being you feeling as deeply as you do, didn't mean to rhyme, is a beauty in itself. So yes, 2022, it showed you, you know loss. You know what it is to not get the things that you dream about. Yeah, you still dream. You are a dreamer. You have that within you anyway. It's just who you are. And initially, now it wants me to show you the other side. Is initially, oh, right, sorry. Oh, come on. So initially this card came out this way, and then I almost like flipped it and it came out this side here, where we have this kind of scolding individual, older man, looking at this young couple enjoying themselves, looking at this woman in the water. Doesn't she look like the Queen of Wands? I mean, sorry, the Queen of Cups. Why do I keep calling it the Queen of Wands? Doesn't she look like her, right? Oh, sorry. Yeah, so whilst he looks disappointed, he's actually jealous of their youth, of their freedom, of their innocence. And this is you. Carefree. You know, no matter what you faced, the things that you have faced actually should make you more carefree. That is the lesson in this, in that you can do all you can do, basically. You can do anything, and sometimes it just still won't work. Sometimes it's just not for us. And sometimes it not working out is just the lesson, or the entirety, let me say, is, God, how am I going to say this? What I mean is, sometimes it not working out is the whole point of why your soul initially wanted you to do it in the first place. Because I feel like our soul, our higher selves, whatever we call it, knows the plan, right? They know why you came to Earth. They know all the things that you needed to experience and stuff like that. So it's like sometimes we are pushed to go for an idea or pushed to start something and it doesn't work out, and we're like, okay, so why would I do that? Why would you tell me? Why would I feel this inside of me, this passion to go after that and to do that? And sometimes the end result of that, the fact that it didn't work out, is the whole reason why we decided to do it in the first place, in a kind of weird, twisted way. So let's get some clarifiers, and then we'll start pulling some oracle cards. I kind of even forgot that to clarify any of these, to be honest. Oh no! Alright, okay. So let's clarify first of all. You know what? I'm gonna take them all and I will assign them to their rightful position. Right. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This one will be going here. And technically these two were together, so that's fine. Okay. So this was a lesson about reattaching you, reconnecting you to that inner child. Again, like when I spoke about that Six of Cups energy and how this man is jealous because of youth. People are also jealous of your youth. Like sometimes our parents can be jealous of the fact that, you know, maybe they had to do things for their parents, or they felt that pressure of doing things for their parents, and it kind of becomes like a generational thing. And again, taking you back to that idea of you had to go to uni or something like that. Maybe you decided that this wasn't for you and you really committed to that idea, and again you decided not to go, you changed course, you did whatever it was, right? You had that inner power to make that decision for yourself, and to go against what other people might say, go against all those fears that you have. The fear of letting down your parents or something like that, letting down these authority figures in your life. Whether that's just you, letting down yourself. But it wasn't letting down your inner child. In fact, your inner child, you know, it wants to speak up. It knows what it wants already. It knows what it likes. It kind of has that ability. Like, we love when children say, well, most of the time, we find it cute when children say like out of the box things. And they say things without thinking. And they're very authentic and raw. And it's endearing to us because we lose that as we grow up. We're like, you know, socialized to think about things before we say it and have a bit more tact in what we're saying, because it's almost like we become even more sensitive as we grow older. Even though we say children are like whiny, not whiny, but you know, like we say like children are oversensitive, but really most of the time adults are way more sensitive than children. Like, children get over stuff so quickly, you know. So sometimes we need to reconnect to that. And when it comes to a lot of our shadow aspects in our life, it is tied to who we were when we were younger, on all those experiences that we had. Here with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, this can feel like being unlucky. Oh, sorry. This can feel like a level of being unlucky. Things not working out in your favor. You're doing things, but the wheel is not turning in your favor, right? And with the Hierophant here, again, this was about you growing spiritual wisdom, spiritual insight. It's about you reconnecting with your higher self, with your soul. Some of you guys might have even just gone into like a spiritual awakening, and this is something that's relatively new to you. And this 2022 was about finding home within, with that Four of Wands here. There's a liberation in finding who we are, really owning who we are, you know, not being afraid of that aspect of ourselves that we might think is going to embarrass others, or we might think is a little bit silly, or we think isn't cool, or whatever it is. And when we can kind of get to that point when we're like, no, this is me, I like me, I'm happy with me, then it's a lot easier to ignore any other noise, because it is just noise at that point. It doesn't feel like truth to you because you've extracted it from yourself. So let's look at your card here. We have the Pilgrim coming through here. And I am going to read the message. You guys have a lot of cultural... I feel a lot of cultural references in here. So you guys could be connected to a culture who values certain things. Again, like I said, education could be one. Like maybe they expect you to be married at a certain age. Maybe you're not meant to have an interest in certain things, like for example tarot or something like that, you know, astrology, whatever it may be. Yeah. So some of you guys could belong to a culture, or have a cultural background that kind of has that. I don't know. Where can I find this now? So with the words here, we have keywords are the wanderer, the traveller, the apprentice. For the pilgrim, an outward journey is always an inward journey. This archetypal wanderer seeks wisdom, experience, and meaning in the farthest reaches of the globe and the deepest regions of the spirit. Others will wander when the pilgrim will settle down and claim a more conventional life. But the pilgrim knows that the heart belongs in motion. Where there is motion, there is freedom, expansion, and growth. All things that connect to our inner child, right? Responsibilities, social conventions, and logistics lull us to sleep, and soon the pilgrim becomes veiled in the slumber of the day-to-day. Right? So this Six of Cups energy, again, has maybe your authority figures, whoever I'm connecting to here, those people that you may feel are disappointed in you, they maybe have felt that pilgrim energy within them. Oftentimes when we are here to kind of break our generational curses, generational damages, whatever they are, our parents have felt that too, our ancestors have had that feeling too, but maybe they just weren't brave enough to face it. But this year 2022 has been about you facing that, especially with the devil energy over here. So yet when this archetype awakes, it rallies our sense of adventure and leads us out the door towards a new reality. With the pilgrim at your side, you will never lack courage, nor do you need every amenity. Travel light, travel soon, your spirit needs it. So yeah, 100%. Again, moving away from what you know, your societal structures, your community, your culture, whatever it was. I feel like you've moved away, you felt that inner urge to move away from what you've always known, to find who you truly are and what you're truly meant to be in this lifetime. And sorry about me doing this. And along that, and sometimes to force us to get to that point, we have to lose things. We have to lose those foundations that we have built for ourselves, because they were never really built on honesty. So what I'm going to do is now pull cards for some guidance. Oh no, sorry. Before I do that, we've got some more cards. Sorry. So we have Full Moon in Aquarius, show the world the real you. And we also have romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. And heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Goodness me, sorry. So we have Aquarius energy here. Usually Aquariuses are that black sheep. They're the ones that stand out, that go against the grain. And that's exactly what 2022 has been for you guys. It's about showing the world. It doesn't have to be the literal world, like online or anything like that, but just showing your friends, your family, those people that it's mostly more scary to show the real version of yourself. Like, think of YouTubers and stuff like that, and how they always talk about, and I connect to this too, it's scarier when people we know watch our videos, because we know them, like we have an intimate relationship with them, than people online, because we at least hope that the content that we produce are reaching people with similar interests as us. So yeah, this what 2022 has been about, showing the world the real you. And your feelings are real and worth exploring. That has been the kind of message of this year, of like reaffirming that yes, everything you feel, that pilgrim energy, that energy of wanting to expand, to go beyond what you've known, is real. It's very valid, and you should explore that. That's exactly where you need to be going in your life right now. And being honest with this, being honest with other people, being honest with about your feelings, and discussing this and relaying that information to others as well. So now we are going to move on into some guidance messages for 2023 for you. I'm going to sort this all out and come back to you guys in a second. I don't mind if the camera angle changed, because I forget to knock the camera. So you guys have, let's start here. You are adored. Don't be fooled by the players, and don't be fooled by yourself. There's no one more lovable nor loved than you, and I know everyone. Precarious, the universe. So yeah, this is just some reassurance going into the new year that you are loved for exactly who you are. It's a bit similar to part number one, like it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you're being kind, obviously, as in like it doesn't matter what you do in terms of your passions or following. You don't need to be doing what other people want you to do to be loved, to be deserving of love, right? And that's just, you know, honing honing in on that in the new year and reminding yourself of that consistently as well. We also do have here dance and spend time with animals. It's funny, when I got this card I was thinking, oh, this group needs to get away from people or doesn't like people so much, or doesn't connect with people. I think that's what I thought. I was like, this group doesn't connect to people. So spend some time around animals. I feel like animals, I'm thinking of dogs and the fact that everyone loves dogs because dogs love you for whatever. You can shout at your dog, as in like, don't do that or something like that, and they won't hold a grudge against you. You can leave your dog for the day to go to work and you come home and it loves you, like that type of idea. Like animals just love you for you. They don't care what you do as long as you feed them. That's about it. As long as you feed them and you give them some love, they love you, right? So yeah, spend some time with animals if you need to feel that you feel like you're lacking that in terms of like human interactions, and you feel like you need that in the new year, then do arrange to spend some time with animals. I feel like one way you could do this is going to the park. One thing that's a very easy, cheap, free thing to do. Going to a friend's house who has an animal or a pet. Also like doing things like puppy yoga or cat yoga, or going to cat cafes or something like that where you're around animals and you don't really need to, rely on anyone else. And finally, I wanted to use these things to kind of bring some energies of what you can expect in the new year in 2023. These are basically personality traits, but what I'm going to do is like kind of like flip them to match an energy that you guys will be having in the new year, or that you can expect in the new year. All right. Yeah, because I really wanted to use these because I don't really get to use them in readings. So here we go. So for 2023, please, those who chose, I always forget your crystal, I'm so sorry, but those who chose Lapis Lazuli in 2023, what can they expect? One more, maybe? There we go. All right. So we have here meticulous. So you guys are going to feeling some meticulous energy in the new year. Being very particular about things. Maybe it's about your routine. Maybe it's about where you put your energy in general. Just feeling very meticulous about things, apparently. Feeling very helpful. So maybe you guys are going to be receiving help from others, or you're going to be feeling like you want to give a lot of help out. Maybe you're going to be volunteering or something like that. And we have LGBTQI+. This is also a group that I didn't think about, or something that maybe you guys felt like you owned your sexuality in 2022, and in the new year that's something you continue to do, a community that you continue to engage in, or you start engaging in 2023. Or what was I going to say? Yeah, maybe you are becoming an advocate for that community or anything like that. Maybe you're just an ally, I don't know. Oh, do you know what? As I'm doing this, let me put these away because these are a bitch to put away afterwards. Apologies for the helicopter. Okay. So option number 1 also got this, but we've got arrogant. And I feel like this is basically you guys really owning who you are, being very self-confident in yourself. And just owning your shit. We have Capricorn energy, so you could have a Capricorn sun, moon, rising, or Venus. Capricorn energy is also very familial, and it's very much about traditions and stuff like that. So you guys could either be having a lot of transits or energies happening in your 10th house. Maybe you're having some Saturnian influences happening, or you're coming into a lot of Capricorn energies, so things to do with your public image. Sorry, I feel like sound a bit congested right now. Things to do with, so you're feeling very hard working in the new year, or you're working very hard in 2023 to kind of get a career off the ground, or build something for yourself, build some kind of legacy for yourself. yeah, so funny enough, I just said that, and we have workaholic here. So yeah, you guys are going to be work mode in the new year. Musically talented, so you guys might be getting into music in the new year. Maybe it's a new interest of yours. Maybe you are just branching out in that area, really owning the artistic side to you. We have Aries here as well, so you could have Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. You could have some first house energy happening in your chart in the new year. You could also be feeling more athletic, more energetic, more on the go, more independent. Yeah, we have good listener, so either you will be really like, that's going to be kind of a compliment you're getting in the new year, like, you know, you are really listening to people, you're really there for them. Again, you might be becoming some kind of advocate for people as well, maybe in that, helping out in that way. But also you could be feeling like you're really being listened to in the new year. Maybe you're getting a platform or something as well. We have smile, so you guys could be really happy in the new year. You could be smiling a lot. Maybe you're taking pictures smiling. Maybe that's something that you're not usually doing, you know. Feeling very laid back in some ways, so there's an element of feeling chilled, laid back, like things are maybe flowing a bit easier for you, feeling a little bit easier. So we have the energy ISFJ, or sorry, I should say the personality type. This is the Defender and the Sentinels. I feel like the Sentinels always comes out strange. You could have that energy, you could be connecting to people with that energy, or you could be exhibiting some of that energy in 2023. We also have piercings, so you guys could be getting some piercings. Maybe you're feeling very liberated. Again, maybe your family wasn't ready for piercings and it's something you had to hide away, or something you had to pretend that you didn't like, or something like that, you know. And in the new year you are embracing that side of yourself. We have short here. So either the new year can feel short to you, it could feel like it's going very quickly or went very quickly, or you guys could just be short. I don't know. We have short there, so do with that what you will. We have hardworking, again, that hardworking workaholic energy. You guys are doing a lot in the new year, really putting your best foot forwards. We have Gemini here, so you could have Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus in a Gemini. Didn't I say I think there's a lot of people in this pile, so a lot of different energies here. And you could also be gaining some knowledge. You could have some third house energy, so you could be building a close community or developing new friendships. That's kind of 11th house energy, but it also can fall into the third house. You might also be living with friends maybe in the new year as well, in some kind of way. Having third house transits, communication being important for you as well. Again, you might be telling your story in some way, like maybe it's online, maybe it's through a blog, I don't know, something like that. I just sense there's this community or this story that you have to tell, this group of people that you are advocating for or connecting with in some way. We also do have the personality type ENTP, the debater and the analyst. So again, you could have that personality type. You could be meeting more people with that personality type, or you could be exhibiting some of that personality type. We have pescatarian, so maybe you guys are becoming pescatarians. Maybe you are owning your pescatarianness. Maybe you will be eating a lot of fish or having a lot of omega-3 even in the new year. Again, more placements. So Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus, so you guys could have those placements. You guys could be going through a lot of transformations in the new year. There could be some 8th house energy happening. I also get for this one that you guys could be meeting Scorpio placements. Also tuning into your emotions and your darker side, more rebellious side, and doing things that maybe you initially thought were like taboo, for example getting piercings, stuff like that, right? And finally we have yes. So you guys are going to be saying yes a lot more in 2023. I feel like you're going to be very active, doing a lot of things. And yeah, God, I felt exhausted just from doing that. So that guys, that could sorry, I'm stumbling now. That could be you guys in the like at the end of 2023, like feeling very exhausted, like you just did so much. That's how I feel. I feel like I've done a workout and I haven't done anything. So yeah, that is the end of today's reading. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below. I'm hoping you all have a happy holidays, a happy holiday season, whether no matter what you believe, no matter how much significance December has for you. I just hope that you have a good month, and yeah, and a good year. And if I don't see any of you guys, if you've just come to this video and I don't see you again before the new year, then I hope you have a good 2023, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye. Hi there, option number 3. Welcome to your reading. Those of you who chose the Tiger's Eye here, hello, welcome, hi. So as we enter the new year, I do want to remind you guys that I have personal tarot readings. In particular, the year ahead tarot report is a good one to get as we enter the new year. It basically gives you a whole rundown of your love life, your career and finances, general messages and spiritual alignment messages. And you can also ask up to 3 of your own questions as well. That's all included in the price. I have several readings that include me recordings just like this. So if you prefer more of a personal touch, you can get a what I need to know reading, you can get an inner child reading, a career reading or a love reading, which are all recorded readings. If you're interested in getting a personal tarot reading, or you want to inquire about getting a personal tarot reading, you can head down below and click the link in the description, and that will take you to that page and give you all the information that you need to know about all of the tarot readings that I offer. I do want to quickly mention as well that I do have a virtual tip bar if anyone is interested in adding donations to this channel, or you like to tip your readers or anything like that. I do have that option down below as well if any of you guys are interested. So yeah, let's get into your reading now. I've actually really been enjoying doing these readings, even though I am freezing cold. It's just cold. That's not your fault. I'm sorry, I'm projecting. But yeah, I forgot to say on the other piles that if there's any other readings that you guys would like to see in the new year, then let me know, comment them down below, and I will do those if they sound interesting. I've already pulled your tarot cards, so I'll pull them out for you now. Okay, lots of cards out here. I might have pulled a little bit too much, got a little bit eager, but that's fine. Ooh, okay. So, right, so first of all, this 7 of Cups is really standing out to me, and the Fool card here as well in reverse. I feel like for 2022, you guys might have been facing a lot of hesitancy when it comes to like making decisions, knowing which way to go, knowing what to put time or energy into. I see with this 3 of Cups that a support system was very important for you in the year 2022. I don't know if this is something you had or not, if you had this or didn't have this. But I do feel like there's a sense of support here, actually, to be honest. So I think for most of you guys, you would have had this, even if it was just like your spirit guides or something like that. There was an element of you guys having some kind of support system. Because like you see in this 3 of Cups how this girl's hand is behind this other girl. How she's like kind of resting her hand behind her, almost supporting her, lifting her up. So there could have been an element of like confusion for you guys in this year, I should just say this year. An element of confusion, like you're not quite sure what to do, where to go, what's right, what's wrong. It might not felt as like, you know, dramatic as that, but you know, there's sometimes when we just feel so self-assured, and other times when we're like, okay, I could do this, I could do that. I don't really know, like neither one is really standing out to me right now, you know, like there was nothing that just really grabbed your attention and that was what you wanted to go for, or you felt like you needed to do. I'm getting the word soft. I don't know why, but like maybe it felt like a very soft year for you. It doesn't necessarily mean like it was a kind year, but just that there was no kind of significant pressure that you felt throughout the year, in terms of, yes, okay, maybe I didn't really know what to do, I didn't really have a clear direction, and that was frustrating for me. But at the same time, there wasn't, because of that, there was also no overwhelming pressure either. And the lack of overwhelming pressure contributed to me not quite knowing what to do. Maybe you're not used to that. Maybe you've always had a sense of direction, and this year you found that tricky because you didn't have that strong sense of direction. You guys might have found like a really strong spiritual family or soul family this year with this Hierophant here. I feel you being very connected to yourself and to higher wisdoms, to spiritual knowledge in some way. Like in this card, it always intrigues me that he's actually at the, I'm going to show it to you again, but he's actually at the bottom of all these stairs. Like even though he is admiring and enamored by this energy, this spiritual energy above, he is ultimately very grounded. He's in the 3D world, you know, he's not in the spiritual realm. Not really, not like the High Priestess. Like the Hierophant really takes this knowledge and brings it down to the practical world. It's a very practical person. So I automatically want to pull clarifiers for you guys to make sense of this a bit more. I'm not going to try and rush this because like this is probably the quickest I've got into this. I'm hoping that your reading's not going to be shorter just because I'm feeling, you know, cold at this point. I do still want to give you all of the information. I'm very drawn to the snake actually. See the snake here? But it doesn't feel like a snake of transformation. It feels like a snake, like a sneaky, like a snake hiding in the bushes, you know? Again, like some of these opportunities are gonna lead me to something good and some of these are not. Some of these people are not as well, maybe. It's really about deciphering who was for you and who's not. Again, when it came to the support system, maybe there were people in your initial friendship group or support system that you found out this year weren't really for you, had ulterior motives of some kind. But I'll see more. We'll get some more energy anyway. So can we clarify first for this Eight of Wands? So we have the Five of Wands coming out here. It came out sideways, but I almost feel like it was in reverse. I'm going to put one more of these for the Fool card. Which is the Knight of Pentacles. Again, possibly quite a slow year for you. Okay, I'll find this real quick. That was too many. Three of Cups, please. Oh, lots of cards keep coming out. Why is that here? Is it Truth Tiger's Eye? Anything? Right, the Devil reversed. I'm gonna take it upright actually. I feel like it should be right upright. And then I'm gonna take the right away. Nope, I'm lying. Gosh, again, see, I feel very confused. I'm like, I'm getting one message and then I'm like, wait, no, wait, I want to do that instead. And yeah, I definitely feel like that was you guys in this year. Not quite sure what's the best thing to do, which way to go. Ooh. Oh no, fuck, so close. So close. Let's just move these up so we got a bit more space here to shuffle. Come on. Right. So, can we clarify the wheel, sorry. Where's the wheel here? So, this is the moon. What is the Hierophant here, please? We have the sun card. So, the moon and the sun, or the sun and the moon. Unnecessarily. Okay. Yeah, so funny enough, the Ace of Cups came out, and the Ace of Cups was at the bottom of this deck in reverse. And this is almost like the Ace of Cups in reverse in this deck, you know. Right, yo. So yeah, this deck of the Ace of Cups, this side of the Ace of Cups also talks about a kind of illusion, not seeing things so clearly because it is dark, because it's just this kind of statue and figure. It's not very clear. I'm going to actually, it keeps taking me to this book, so I'm going to read it for the Ace of Cups and maybe the Devil as well. It says, when you get this side, the card is still positive, bringing its gifts of love and beauty. The presence of the Prince, though, cautions against being beguiled by fairy tale romance. What is seen as starlight may prove quite differently in the light of day. Beware of illusions and don't promise too much too soon. 100%, yeah. So that clarifies what I was saying here. Again, we have the moon card, which talks about all that illusion, not quite seeing things clearly, everything that's different by moonlight. The dark waters of the unconscious can't be navigated by reason or rationality. The moon calls forth your intuition and your instincts. Because there are things you need to know now that can only be known by moonlight. Yeah, so it's almost like this darkness actually highlighted here when we have the sun and the moon energy, the contrast. It's like the darkness contradictorily highlighted the things that needed to be revealed to you. And it's funny, we have the Devil with the Three of Cups here. So again, that kind of community or friendship message coming through strong here, in terms of that's where this lesson lied for you. So think back to your friendships that you've had this year and the kind of lessons that you've been experiencing, or patterns that you've been experiencing with people around you. Because in this card, there is only one person supporting the other. The other one is different. The other one actually has a tattoo on her back as well, or this kind of air sign on her back. And whilst it might not have the meaning of being separate, then it does make her separate then in this imagery. So there is something that you learned in 2022 about your friendships, or a person in particular, someone in particular. It might even have been that the things that these people wanted you to do, or the things that someone wanted you to do, you knew internally that it didn't align with you. Something didn't sit right, and there was a hesitancy to do this. For good reason. You were hesitant for a good reason. The World card, interesting. So 8 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Wands also in reverse here. 8 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Wands also in reverse here. 8 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Wands also in reverse here. 8 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Wands also in reverse here. 8 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Wands also in reverse here. 8 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Wands also in reverse here. 8 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Wands also in reverse here. 8 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Wands also in reverse here. 8 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Wands also in reverse here. 8 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Wands also in reverse here. 8 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Wands also in reverse here. 8 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Wands also in reverse here. 8 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Wands also in reverse here. 8 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Wands also in reverse here. 8 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Wands also in reverse So there could have been some kind of argument, some kind of blowout with something that revealed a lot about someone or something. And also brought a particular cycle to a close. This could have been like a recurring thing that just kept happening. You could have kept forgiving this person, or the group of people kept like, you know, just letting them back in, forgiving them, or ignoring the signs that were in front of you. But it was like this time, this year, yeah, it could not be ignored anymore. Things were no longer clear, and that, you know, it lit up like little light bulb in you. Like, why can I not make sense of this? It might have taken a little while to get to that point, but you got there. See, it's funny how this deck now is being very upfront. You know, the cards are shooting out. They're very, not purposeful, but very precise. So now we have the Wheel of Fortune, which you guys initially had in reverse here. So yeah, when I said it took a little while with the Knight of Pentacles here. It took a while to get to this point, but when you got there, the wheel turned. Because here we have it in reverse, the kind of symbolism of things being out of order, out of bad luck, things not working out in your favor. So things have started to flow since then, I feel like. Or at least started to move in the right direction. Knight of Cups. This could even have been a relationship with someone. Maybe there was like a third party in this relationship, and that's what you became aware of with this Knight of Cups here. There was definitely emotion invested in whoever or whatever this was. There was some kind of deception here. Someone was deceiving you this year. I feel like you were almost in detective mode, like it was about uncovering something. Seven of Wands reversed. So I'm trying to figure out if this is how this person made you feel, this energy hit, or if this is the result of someone coming in. I still don't quite know. So we have the Seven of Wands in reverse, the Nine of Swords in reverse, and the King of Cups in reverse. So there's two things I see, or at least one thing I do feel here, is that this might not be for all of you, because I don't 100%, I don't know, I'm not certain, and that could just be your energy, that kind of uncertainty that you felt in 2022, or this could just be me. Sometimes it's really hard to tell. But this person could have come to your aid in some way. You know, they could have really helped you overcome anxieties or troubles. Maybe they stood up for you in some way. They have very masculine energy, so they don't necessarily have to be a man. They could still be a woman, but they have that kind of like dominant, like, I've got you. Again, when I said this, someone was your support system. So really it could have been the support system that fucked you over as well. This person who was initially your support system. You know how like some emotionally manipulative people will really try to, they had this way of like making you open up sometimes, and like making you very vulnerable. Like we have the King of Cups here in reverse, that kind of vulnerability, being very open. I feel like there's a very openness in your emotions this last year. Maybe you revealed a lot to this person, and then they kind of backstabbed you or something like that. So So now we have the 6 of Cups and the 9 of Cups. I'm so confused by this reading. I can't lie to you guys. 6 of Cups, 9 of Cups. 6 of Cups, 9 of Cups. Hold on. So who we're going with that narrative still, and we have the Empress here. What is going the frick on? I'm excited. I'm interested to get to these oracle cards because I'm like, what? I'm going to run with the same narrative that I've connected to in terms of this person could have been everything that you felt like you were looking for. Like, they were kind, they were helpful, it was like a wish come true, you know, a dream come true. Whether this is romantic or friendship wise, there was a connectedness here. But okay, that makes sense why I had Capricorn here when I saw the Devil card, which is ruled by Capricorn. But Capricorn also comes with a lot of, Capricorn placements come with a lot of karma because of Saturn, and Saturn is a very karmic planet. So this person might have been a karmic experience for you, a karmic partner or something like that. Something that had to awaken you to something that you had not been seeing for a while. Now we have the Sun in reverse. 3 of Wands in reverse. So, hold on, clarify 3 of Wands. Again, please, just one. Yeah, 100%. Okay, yeah, so again, running with that, it's like you invested in this person or relationship, whatever it was, expecting commitment. Whether that's, even if it was expecting marriage, you know, like they could have been really saying anything to you, or it might not have just been this person was severely evil and like this and this. It was like whatever it was, you were not seeing things clearly in this situation. Something that was an illusion or mask on this situation or person. And what you were expected to get out of it did not, you know, you didn't get the return on your investment. Whatever you expected did not come to fruition. And that led to a lot of unhappiness, a lot of confusion again. I want to look at this Hierophant and Sun card now, please. Sorry, this is so messy, but can we clarify the Hierophants? Where's this here for the bit? So now we have that 6 of Pentacles coming in, which is that equal give and take energy. So I almost see this now as like a story of, so initially when you came into this, there was a lot of spiritual connection, you know, you felt deeply for this person, you felt like they could be a soulmate or something like that. You feel like you were connecting to that higher power, because sometimes we do feel that through people, you know, that's what makes us get drawn to them, is that we feel like there's something spiritual here. We don't know it, we know it's not like a conscious thing. Or it doesn't start off as a conscious thing, but it's like something here is different from the rest. But then things didn't really end up working out the way you thought, like, you know, maybe conversation or communication breaking down, being emotionally unavailable or something like that, feeling confused, feeling betrayed, feeling like one minute they were interested or they're being kind to you, and the next minute it's like they're nowhere to be seen, or they are just things moving very slowly and sporadically, not a commitment, not continuous. Okay, so now I've kind of got that. I feel more confident in that message. that's probably the narrative I'm gonna run with. Again, it doesn't have to be relationship, it could be friendship, but if you feel like that is not your experience for 2022, then you might want to either go back and choose a different pile, or yeah, maybe this reading doesn't have any messages for you in particular. But anyway, let's see what else we have coming out here. So we have the thread coming out here. For all of these I've just been reading. Right, for all of these I've been reading. Right, so the keywords for the thread we have are the path, the vein, and the circuit. Life is... Alright, I've got to change the battery. And surrender. Oh, do you know what channel song I just got for you guys, I think? Is White Flag by... begins with D. I will link it down below. But look at those lyrics. See if that's something you kind of felt. It's like, I won't go down with this ship. I won't put my hands up and surrender. There will be no white flag but my door. I'm in love and always will be. Yeah, that's kind of like the energy of this, of maybe not, or refusing to see even the, again back to this Ace of Cups here, refusing to see the red flags, or refusing to see the things that weren't working, you know, not bringing them up, just brushing past them. Right, so this one says, life is a tangle. So much happens simultaneously and circuitously, leaving us grappling for meaning and direction in a network of distractions. When we connect to the energy of the thread, however, we strike the deepest vein in the body. Our whole being responds to its tug. Meaning is pumped through our bloodstream. Our mind and spirit are lifted. We remember who we are and what we came into this world to do. Though this happens on the most profound level, it could be the simplest incident that it activates the thread. A song, an image, a conversation heard in passing. No matter how confusing and multi-layered our modern lives become, if we are connected to the thread, we are free. Being tethered to it is the only anchor our heart requires. The circuit of meaning within chaos. I feel like this embodies everything. So yeah, that confusion, navigating that confusion and not allowing it, that was the lesson here of the year. Basically, it was like not allowing that confusion to take you away from your true meaning, your true purpose, who you are. It's almost like, you know, when people have that saying of not allowing people to take you out of character. Like, it doesn't matter how much people push you, how much people, I don't know, talk shit about you, whatever it may be, like, you're still not going to react out of character, you know? You're going to still be, because your character for a lot of people is everything. Your character is what's going to, is almost your legacy. It's the thing that people will always talk about you, will always connect you to that thing that you did. So if you react in the wrong way, you could be left with that legacy of that one incident. So that's why this thread, which I feel like is basically this spiritual connection here, when I said the Hierophant is connected to the spiritual realm, yes, but they still live here in the material world, you know, like this world. And it is their connection that allows them to be so enlightened, that allows them to transmit knowledge in the way that can be understood by the lay people. Allows them to live a life of such peace as well. So now that you guys have this thread, which is your connection to yourself, whatever it was that you guys found that you felt like, that made you wake up, basically, that made you realize that, okay, despite what chaos is going on in my life right now, despite what this person is putting me through, because I feel like it was a person that caused this chaos. And I think sometimes when it's a person, it can be hard, even harder to make sense of and see. So now when people come in your life and they start causing chaos, it won't matter so much, because you know who you are, you know what you want, you know what your values are. No one can pull you out of character, whether that character was like, almost people pleasing or begging for love or attention seeking, or whether it was anger and frustration, whatever it was that it doesn't feel like you, and they're all valid emotions and experiences, but it's how we react that really makes us who we are. So let's see more about this lesson. So full moon in Capricorn, that Capricorn energy coming through again. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Where I spoke about the wheel, did I say about cycle? I feel like I did. Oh no, the World card came out and I said it was the end of a cycle. Yeah, 100%. 2022, this was the end of that cycle for you guys. You guys woke up, you guys have that awareness now. It's intrinsic, it's in you. Like, that wisdom is stuck in you. I don't see you guys going through that again, not at all. And even if people come with a similar energy, or you start dating someone, if that was the situation, and then they kind of start exhibiting similar energies, I feel like you're going to be so quick to be like, no, red flag. Absolutely not. Like, you're not going to give it the time of day. So that was the lesson here, is basically not giving too much away, not in like a toxic way, but just like, yourself, right? You know yourself now. Oh, it's funny we have wedding here, because I mentioned you guys might have thought that there was going to be some kind of commitment here. It says this situation involves marriage, so it could have involved marriage. Literally, this could have been a marriage that was built on illusion, and this whole process was like you realizing that this person was not the person that you thought they were. And if that is the case, even if it wasn't marriage, I have a lot of sympathy for you when it comes to that. And even in this card, you kind of see how this woman is looking at this man. I'm gonna wait for it to kind of focus a little bit more. And he's looking straight forward. So again, this kind of looking for reassurance, this innocence in her that I feel like you guys had with this person. This vulnerability that you had with them that they kind of didn't respect, couldn't hold space for. And we also have here, it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Most importantly, give and receive. So this year was about reconnecting you to that safety within yourself, so that you could now find people who it is safe for you to love. Maybe that's why maybe you guys did find someone who could give you that, because initially I felt in the Three of Cups that there is some kind of support happening here. So whether that's friends or family or another partner that you've had throughout this year, who has shown you that the way you were treated before is not right. It's not something that you deserve. That's not your path. That's not your people. So yeah, that is another lesson, is that you guys have come to realize, or I hope that you've come to realize, that it is safe for you to love, because there are people out there who can give you what you want and what you deserve. So what I'm going to do is clear this all up, and then we're going to look at your 2023, kind of a little bit of 2023 guidance and stuff like that. Okay, randomly when I was putting those cards away, I thought about the fact that this is the only pile that I used all three of my tarot decks on that I have at hand. So it even just intensifies the fact that there was a lot of confusion there. It was like it took a lot of tries and a lot of energies to bring out a message for you, right? So it's weird how kind of like the behavior of the deck really emphasizes, and sometimes it takes me a little while to like catch on as well and see what it's actually telling me. But yeah, I did just want to mention that as well. So first of all, you guys have create space for new love. So again, that message of it is safe for you to love coming into the new year. And we have here, it says, when a thing hurts your eyes, stop looking at it. When it hurts your ears, stop listening to it. And when it hurts your heart, stop justifying it. I love you so much, the universe. Yeah, 100% what the lesson that you were learning in 2022. And a lot of times it takes us a little bit, you know, to really feel like, yeah, okay, I get it, like 100%. Like, whilst okay, you might not go back there and you learn that lesson in 2023, you might still have some triggers and self-doubt. So that's just some guidance going into the new year, just to kind of be like, you know, create space for new love by really just not giving your time and effort to people who are showing you those red flags. Like it says, when something hurts your eyes, stop looking at it. When it hurts your heart, stop justifying it. You know, don't even start by justifying it, because that's not for you. We also do have here, look for fairies as well. Look for fairies, which is interesting. I feel like this energy, whenever this comes out in my... Right, this is not focusing. Okay, there we go, on my face, great. Whenever this card comes out from the self-care deck, it's always about bringing a bit of lightheartedness into your life, bringing a bit of playfulness into your life as well, by looking for things that might not be there, you know, like being very playful, being very free-spirited, and again, staying very connected to your higher wisdoms, to that mythical energy within you, not discrediting it. We also do have here positive affirmations. So like I said before, where yes, you might have learned the lesson and everything like that, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to have those little triggers or those moments where you are maybe feeling a bit of self-doubt and stuff like that. So it is important that you do create some positive affirmations for yourself. Actually, it's a bit of self-promo, but I do have, every month I create new affirmations for the month over on the K-Living community page. So, and I do have some for Christmas time, like Christmas themed affirmations that you can put on your phone wallpaper or something like that, so you can just see it all the time. I'll show you mine now, actually. Look, this is one that I have on my phone right now. And this one says, this month I am recommitting myself to self-care practices. So it's all like December themed, and then it's got like, oh, sorry. It's all December themed, and it's got a affirmation with it as well. So if you guys are interested and you don't quite, you know, feel confident enough creating your own affirmations, then you can head to the K-Living community Instagram page. It's linked down below. It's under join the community. Or if you prefer Pinterest, I also do have it. I repost the stuff on Pinterest because I'm a little bit lazy, but whatever. Anyway, moving on. So next we are going to be taking some of these. Basically, I wanted to find a way to use these in this reading because I never really get a chance to use them enough. And these are little personality traits, which sound a bit weird, but basically I'm going to like retwist them a little bit to embody the kind of energies that you can expect in the new year. So we're going to look at maybe some energies that might be coming up in 2023. So let's go. Whoa, those all just, I think some fell on the floor. There's quite a lot of nervous energy as I'm doing this, actually. Sorry, my hair keeps just, oh, everything is just not, it's not, come on. There we go, okay. I'm going to shuffle and do this. Yeah, I felt a bit of quite nervous energy. Maybe you guys are a bit anxious at the moment or nervous about the new year. Maybe you're not feeling quite excited, you know. You don't have that feeling with you right now. So everything is like pinging and going everywhere. Right, we have innocent. So bringing some more innocence into the new year. Like I said here with look for fairies, it's about, you know, that playfulness, that childlike energy, bringing that back into your life in the new year. So you could actually be doing that. We also do have extroverted here, so you guys could be socializing a lot in the new year. You know, you're out, you're about, you're feeling confident. We have diplomatic, so you guys are going to be speaking up for what's right. You're going to be very I feel like methodological, like, you know, when something's right, it's right, and when something's wrong to you, it's wrong. Like that, very much that energy. Some of you guys could also have Virgo placements as well. We also have adventurous, so you guys are going to be getting out quite a bit in the new year in 2023. Love that for you. We have Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. So this could be your placements. You could be connecting more with Leo placements. You could also have more 5th house energy happening. You could be having God, there's so many things. You could also be having going into your 5th house perfection year even, or just embodying more Leo energy. So that is creative expression, you know, feeling more aligned with your identity and who you are, feeling more egoic in a way, feeling more self-assured, feeling more confident in who you are, and also being on display in somehow, you know, like being in the public eye or something like that, having a lot to say maybe. We have bright, so yeah, there's a lot of glowing energy around you in the new year, especially with that Leo energy coming through. So maybe you guys also have fire energy in your chart anyway, but you're really owning that now in 2023. Talking about fire energy, we have Aries. So if you have Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, again, if you have 1st house energy, you're going into your 1st house perfection year. You have feeling more independent, feeling more self-assured, stuff like that. More Aries energy, you know. We have here water baby, so maybe you're connecting with water quite a bit in the new year. Maybe you're attending a lot of beaches, or you're swimming, you are around water in some way, or you feel very connected to water in some way. We have LGBTQI+, so you could be a part of that community. Maybe you are spending more time with people from that community. For another pile, which I do think maybe some of you guys were drawn to, which is pile number 2, you could also be advocating for that community as well. We have a sneakerhead, so maybe you're getting it into shoes. Maybe you are getting some new sneakers or trainers in the new year, and that is where you're finding your joy. I also do see like someone customizing trainers and stuff like that, so maybe that's something you wanted to do, and that is a form of creative expression and it's art as well. So connecting again back to that Leo energy that we see. We have a smoker, so maybe you're getting into smoking in some way. You know, follow age limits, follow what's legal in your country, but yeah, maybe you are experimenting with smoking in some way, I don't know. There's a bit of rebellious spirit here as well, I should say. So maybe some of you, so we have the personality type INFJ. So this is the advocate and the diplomat. So either you guys have this personality type, you could be interacting more with people with this kind of personality traits, or you yourself could be embodying more of these personality traits in the new year. I will have the website link down below for you guys. We have musically talented. I think this also did come up in option number 2 as well, which is maybe why I feel some kind of a connection between you both. So you could be getting into music in 2023, feeling more connected to music in some way. Maybe you are, again, the artistic and creative expression coming through here, where you guys are leaning more into your creative side, your hobbies coming through. Like, we have workaholic here, so very focused on your work. I heard very focused on your career as well for you guys in the new year. And your career could be creative. We have a yin energy, so really attuning to that feminine energy within you, going with the flow, being more receptive, being more open. And I think one of the great things about that experience as well is that you've learned to be less giving, not in a bad way, but like not being over giving anymore, like only giving in situations where you know there is equal give and take, you know, it's very balanced. So as you enter more into this year and you feel more of that yin energy and you feel more comfortable in being the receiver of things, like receiving gifts, receiving love, you know, that type of thing. We have caring, so yeah, you're going to be feeling very caring in the new year, feeling a lot of caring spirits, people who really care about you and really displaying that care that they have for you as well, and considerate as well. So yeah, I think this is going to be other people being more considerate of you, being more aware of you. Apologies, where you might have not had that before, or in 2022 I should say, maybe. So yeah guys, that is the end of this reading. Thank you for coming. If you enjoyed it and it resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below. Let me know which parts resonated with you and how. I'm wishing you all a good holiday season and a good month, even if you guys are not like religious, not into Christianity, not into Christmas or anything like that. Like, I'm just wishing you a good month, wishing you a good season. if this is the only video that you see from me this year or watch from me this year, then I do wish you a good and happy 2023. And yeah, I hope to see you guys soon. Bye. Right, hi there, option number 4. For those of you who chose the blue highlight, welcome to your reading. So as we enter the new year, I do want to remind you guys that I have personal tarot readings. In particular, the year ahead tarot report is a good one to get as we enter the new year. It basically gives you a whole rundown of your love life, your career and finances, general messages and spiritual alignment messages. And you can also ask up to 3 of your own questions as well. That's all included in the price. I have several readings that include me recordings just like this. So if you prefer more of a personal touch, you can get a what I need to know reading, you can get an inner child reading, a career reading or a love reading, which are all recorded readings. If you're interested in getting a personal tarot reading or you want to inquire about getting a personal tarot reading, you can head down below and click the link in the description, and that will take you to that page and give you all the information that you need to know about all of the tarot readings that I offer. I do want to quickly mention as well that I do have a virtual tip bar if anyone is interested in adding donations to this channel, or you like to tip your readers or anything like that. I do have that option down below as well if any of you guys are interested. So yeah, let's get into your reading now. So I've already pre-pulled tarot cards, so I will bring those out now. Okay, so straight away I do see very similar energies from option number 4. No, sorry, option number 3. Option number 3. So if you guys were drawn to option number 3, that could be why. There is a bit of an overlap of energies here, especially with the 7 of Cups. So for you guys as well, you felt an air of confusion in 2022 or this year. Again, I kind of had like, this was a similar thing that happened in option number 3, but there was like a bit of like a back and forth between which cards to use and stuff like that, which kind of happened in option number 3 because it was, you know, mirroring that confusion that you guys, they were feeling. So I felt that again for you guys, so I do want to say that as a thing. I do think yours will be a little bit different. Just give me a moment. So you guys could have experienced a lot of stagnancy in this year. You know, feeling like things weren't really working out for you. Again, it's a little bit similar to option number 3, but different. But a little bit different actually, yeah, it's different. It's similar, but it's different. Anyway, yeah, so some stagnancy because we've got the Hangman reversed, we've got the 4 of Pentacles reversed, the 5 of Cups here, you know, like this King of Cups, he's just chilling with his eyes closed, really trying to connect. So there's definitely a feeling of like a lack of balance in 2023, like things that you might have been putting your time into or your effort into weren't really being repaid. And there feels like is, I don't know, I'm getting contradictory messages because when I look at this 4 of Pentacles, I feel a lack of openness. But when I look at this King of Cups, I feel openness. So that's a bit weird. That's weird.
That's weird.
Well, this is reminding me of that Wizards of Waverly Place song that's like, what's that? A hat, crazy, funky, junky hat, overslept, unnecessarily trying to look like we done that, we see right through your funky hat. I don't know why, but that just reminded me of that. Again, like option number, sorry, this isn't, okay, again, a bit like option number 3, goodness me. There's a lot of confusion as I start this part, but for option number 3, we got there in the end, so stick with me guys, stick with me, right? There's like just contradictory messages here. And like, I feel like you guys experienced something magic, or you saw some kind of magic, or it's not like magic, but more like magic, like, you know, when you see a manifestation happen before your eyes, or when you see something that you thought of happen, or something like that, you know, like either it was like a manifestation happened or occurred and you were like, whoa, okay, so this is real, this stuff like this happens, or you had like a premonition, or you saw something, or you dreamt of something and then it happened in real life and you were like, whoa, wait, what? So that's real? Stuff like that actually occurs. So I do feel like something like that happened. But then I also feel like this restrictedness to you, like things not really working out, especially with this Five of Cups in reverse. I mean, sorry, not in reverse, this Five of Cups energy. Like he's really looking at all these 3 cups that have kind of spilt, and he's like, oh, damn. I also get the word missed opportunity with some of you guys as well. Your pile is like all of the other piles blended together, because I also feel this embarrassment. This is so strange. I mean, I do usually find that option number 4 has like a blend of energies almost. What is this 4 of Pentacles saying? Do you know what? I need some friggin' clarifiers on this, because I look at one card and feel one thing, and I look at another and feel another thing. So we're getting some clarifiers. Here, we'll go with this one. Okay, so can we clarify this spread for those who chose the blue Howlite, please? First, we'll start with the 5 of Cups. Why is that here, please? Right, that's too many cards, so I'm going to redo that. There we go. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, Queen of Pentacles. Sure. Again, this card came up in another pile. I think it was option number 1. So, 4 of Pentacles now. Let me clarify that. Too many cards. Please, come on. We have the 2 of Wands. So I'm not sure if you guys felt some kind of restriction in 2022, like you couldn't quite do the things you wanted to do maybe, particularly if you felt like your finances weren't where you wanted them to be and you didn't really have the financial means to do what you wanted to do at certain times, like for example traveling or something like that, you know, you had to hold yourself back and restrict yourself in some way. Clarify the 6 of Cups. Sorry, 6 of Pentacles for oh gosh, okay. We had the 2 of Swords reversed, and we also had the Page of Cups coming out here, which I will take up there. Over the Hangman. We have the Hierophant. Why is the King of Cups here? Actually just turned around. So 10 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, both in reverse here. So yeah, lack of happiness or emotional fulfillment at least, and a lack of stability within yourself. And for many of you this could be financial stability. Have the 7 of Cups here, please. Devil card tried to come out, but what is that? 2 Pentacles. Clarify the 7 of Cups, please. Okay. And we have the Knight of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands reversed. So I hear stubborn steady wins the race, and I feel like what happened in 2022 was things did not progress in the way that you thought they were going to. Again, similar to pile number 3. And with that lack of progression or very slow movement, there was a lot of confusion here of am I doing things right? Am I heading in the right direction? You know, there was a moment where you kind of had to pause and like rethink things and see if things needed to be looked at differently. And I think what happened instead is you turned to your emotional world, in that you kind of started to focus more on your spiritual alignment in a way, rather than looking at external things. So maybe you came into came into the year 2022 like, you know, I want to get this, you know, like putting, you know, those type of people who put a lot of stuff on their manifestation boards, like a lot of material things. Not saying it's bad or anything, but like putting stuff like, I want a new house, I want a new car, I want this, I want to make this much money in my bank account, like very much material things like that. It almost feels as if, not saying you guys did this, but you started off the year with that mindset, and then as things progressed, you kind of transitioned into, or you were kind of forced to look at things in a different way, where you had to look at things like, okay, well, I'm not quite where I want to be practically, and I don't feel emotionally fulfilled, and right now, and if I don't feel emotionally fulfilled, then I'm not going to be able to get the things that I want, basically, you know. Like, you had to turn to your emotional world and kind of rebalance that, so that you could start to see things more clearly and really start to get the things that you want. Even this Queen of Pentacles, she has her eyes closed. A lot of these people have their eyes closed, actually. This Four of Pentacles has their eyes closed. So you had to get creative with it. You had to look at things from a different perspective. You had to value the things that you already had. Can you hear that? Goodness me. Okay. You had to value the things that you already had. Like, really being grateful for the things that you have in your life, and just really taking it right back down to a soul level, a spiritual level. Because where you kind of came into the year, maybe, I don't know what point in this year everything happened, but where you kind of initially came from was a place of desire, of not saying desire is bad, but it was almost like a desperation of how do I want to say this? It was like an essence of lack, because it was a feeling of need opposed to want, or as opposed to really these things that you want really aligning with who you are on a soul level, you know. Like, I feel like there was a lack of that happening. Do you know what? I want to pull these ones, actually. Yeah, again, it's happening here where I'm using like all three of the decks that I have for you guys, whereas I didn't do that for the other piles, apart from option number 3 again. So yeah, it's like there's just a lot of intertwining us, a lot of some confusion happening here, trying to decipher messages throughout the year, trying to figure out what is up and what is down. Feeling a bit out of sorts, you know. So what was their biggest lesson of 2023? Sun card. Kind of went a bit crazy there. Okay. Yeah, so here with the Hermit card, that spiritual initiation, that spiritual wisdom coming through here. You had to go on that journey to really see things differently this time round. There was a certain wisdom that you had to gain. There's a lot of snake symbolism on this card. And also these dogs. I can't remember what these dogs mean in this deck. But it's the same as the moon. It's the same dogs as the moon card. So again, moon symbolizing your depth of emotion that you were experiencing in 2022. And the confusion that happened here as well, and trying to bring yourself out of this level of confusion through a spiritual voyage, an inner journey of sorts. Trying, you know, you had to, again, look at things from a different perspective, because here when we have the Three of Swords, there's like blue flower growing behind, the symbolism of hope, of things getting better. Like the rain will stop, you know. So this year was about coming into a new kind of insight, a new kind of wisdom, with this very clear Ace of Swords energy here. It cut out all of the illusions, it cut out all of the mysteries and the I don't knows, you know, like now you're sure. And now you can go on this journey very sure. You're clear cut and eagle-eyed, like you can see it all. So as you go now on this path with this Page of Pentacles here, yes, there's a lot of stability going to be growing from this as you enter now. Because of all the work that you did. Because of this experience that you had. Right, because I read from this book for every single pile, I want to do it for yours as well. So what I want to read is this Hermit card, I think. Okay, so on this side of the card, the Hermit's robe is more ragged at the back, shredded at the hems and ripped in several places. He has seen harsh times in his travels, which have damaged him more than he lets people know. This is the price paid for access to the great cosmic egg. When he is travelling, the Hermit's lantern lights a small area, just enough for him to keep his footing and attend to what is in his immediate sphere. But here, from the elevation of the top of the mountain, he is bathed by moonlight. The lunar goddess opens his mind to what is unseen as well as what is seen. Her creatures, the crab and the 2 moon dogs, seen in the moon card, greet the Hermit as a friend. So it says there is a lot going on under the surface and secrets are starting to emerge. Some are things you have hidden from yourself and can no longer avoid. If you don't seek deepening experiences, they sometimes will come find you. As the moon crab and moon dogs have here. There are people who live their lives without the pursuit of wisdom. But this card tells you that you are not one of them. Yeah, 100%. It was like unescapable for you. When I was reading that card, I was like, okay, yeah. And then when we were talking about how it refers to, at this point, he now can see it all. He's illuminated. The mountains... Hold on, let me just try and get this in focus. There we go. The mountains are clear. And he's been greeted by the moon and the essence of the moon. The moon's wisdom, the moon's light. The moon is that shadow as well, our inner shadow, like the things that we keep hidden from ourselves. So right now, everything for you, or everything, you know, in 2022, a lot was being illuminated for you. So let us look at your oracle cards. So you guys have the River coming out here. Dear, I'm sorry, not sorry. Feeling so bad, got me feeling so good. Feeling so bad, like I knew that I would. Okay, so the key words for the river are the stream, the flow, the current. There is a reason so many rituals of change and rebirth take place in the river. It is forgiveness embodied in physical form, without asking anything in return. The river washes away what is no longer necessary, smoothing over sharp edges and accepting all our mistakes and grievances. Once we step in, we are no longer in control. The river carries us farther down the stream of transformation than we planned to go. Its waters have a special gift for reflecting back to us a new and dreamlike vision. Once the tears have passed, we see ourselves as we haven't before, with a little more light-heartedness, grace and fluidity. Keep in mind that you stand within the river. Keep in mind that the that stands within the river is the real you, full of deep emotion and potential. Nothing to hide, nothing to judge. May you drink in the sight of your true self. Yeah, the true you, deep emotion. So that may have been a version of you that you have yet to, or you are yet to connect with until this year. That's why this King of Cups is so prominent here. You know, it's the only one that really has some kind of color in it in the initial spread. And there was a calmness to it. So it's like as things were going wrong for you, and as things weren't really working out. Oh, I feel like my nails are like coming off here. Oh, working out at certain points maybe. At certain points maybe in the year, it was because it was meant for you to look within, you know, it was meant to look at your emotions. What is driving your decisions, like that type of idea. And how it talks about the river as not intending to go as deep as you went. You know, there's a lack of control here. The unknown is very much was very much something you had to accept and surrender to in 2022, in this year, in the last year, sorry. So yeah, let's get some more. So we have fixed moon, hold your vision. And we have soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. And we have pay attention to the red flags the sign are cautioning you. You know what's funny? I'm surprised those two cards did not come out in pile number 3. So I feel like it would have probably have resonated a little bit. Not resonated a little bit more, but you know, whatever. I won't question it. I'm sure there's a reason for that. So here we have hold your vision, fixed moon. So again on this card, you see how like those peaks on those mountains, like those mountains are standing out so much. So this was really a journey for you guys. You guys went on a real significant spiritual journey in 2022. And it was so that you could see something that you hadn't, and it was so that you could see something that you were yet to see. You know? It sounds silly, but it's like, sometimes we just haven't had that thing, whatever the thing is, that we have to see. I don't even know what I mean. Like, it's almost like I didn't know tarot was a thing really. Like you see it in films, you see it in movies, you're like, okay, well, that's just something. I didn't know it was a thing. Like there's a whole community of tarot. There's a whole thing about people reading cards and all these different decks, like that kind of stuff. It wasn't a knowledge that I had, you know? So it's almost like something like that happened to you in 2022 where, well, that was your lesson in 2022, was like to open your eyes and see a different perspective, see something else about yourself and about life in general. Whether that was just spirituality, whether that was, I don't know, anything. Maybe it was about your passion or something like that. It's like, yeah, you came into this year thinking it was going to go one way, or you wanted one certain thing, and then it really just didn't work out in that way, so that it forced you to surrender and see something else that might actually be better aligned for you, or just see another side of yourself that you didn't really know was there or hadn't really given your attention to. It's like you had to tap into this child. I feel like a lot of the time it's when we tap into when we go through these lessons, we realize like, oh, that's stuff that my child's self would have loved, or this is something that I actually always liked as a child or was interested in as a child, but I never really gave it a chance, or I haven't really expanded on it in a good few years. I feel like that was the experience that you guys had. So we do have, yes, this is a soulmate here, which is interesting. Okay. So unlike option number 3, maybe you did come from that pile, I don't know. You could have had someone who brought this awareness to you as well. Maybe someone you had a strong connection with and you're like, okay, I didn't know connections like this existed. I didn't know I could feel so strongly about someone. I didn't know I could, like, you know, people talk about soulmates, and some people who have never experienced that are like, that is a whole load of rubbish. It's like, but until you experience it, you're like, oh, okay, this is real. Like, this is something that I can experience, you know? Did I speak about that in your pile already, or was that a different pile? Where I was like, you know, when people have, oh, it was here when I spoke about magic, right? When I spoke about magic and how when you have that kind of experience for yourself, sometimes sorry, I should say, it's not until you've had that experience for yourself that you really be like, okay, I believe it now because it happened to me. And sometimes it takes that self-experience to be like, oh, this is real. They're not like delusional, sorry, they're not delusional or crazy or whatever. Like, sometimes people don't believe in tarot or something. Again, I'm giving tarot example, but you know, that tarot is just people trying to tell you what you want to hear. Okay, well, then you have a tarot reading and you're like, oh, well, how did they know that? And actually, it wasn't really quite what I wanted to hear. It was just kind of what I needed to hear, or what I've just been feeling for ages, and there's no way in hell this person could have known that, you know? Like, and you're like, okay, there's more to this than meets the eye. There's more to this than what society has told us it is, or something like that, or what I've lived this amount of years thinking it was. So you also do have that, pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. So a lesson for 2022 has been about not ignoring when things are not working out for you. Because where you might have been really fighting against things that, you know, opportunities that weren't planning out, or people that were falling through, or something like that, like a lot of things I feel like just weren't flowing in the way that you expected them to or wanted them to. So rather than like hitting your head against the wall trying to make it work and trying to think of all different situations and scenarios, sometimes we just need to like be like, okay, do you know what, I don't have any power in this, I don't have any control over this, and I'm just gonna give it to the universe, to spirit, to God, whatever you call it. I'm just gonna give it to them and hope for the best, you know? Like, it will be what it's going to be. So yeah, I think it's just about taking a softer approach and realizing that your spiritual community, in terms of like guides, ancestors, angels, again, whatever you connect to, deities, have your back. You know, they are there to really pull things behind the scenes that maybe you can't do yourself. And here as well, you have in this card, you see this like spiritual being here, and then you have this woman here. So it's like, yes, you can do as much as you can, but then sometimes you have to just give them a go, right? You have to give your energy away, not away, but just surrender. Basically, there is a power in surrendering, because it's a trust in the universe. It's trusting that something that beyond myself can get this done. And that is a pretty strong skill to have, a strong belief to have. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tidy this up a little bit, and then we're going to look at some guidance messages for 2023 to help you go into the new year. Okay guys, so here are your little guidance cards for the year 2023. Again, similar to, again, I still see the pattern when it comes to the last part. For some reason it takes me a little while to catch on, but I see a lot of the energies or lessons from your year just kind of being reiterated here, and you know, making sure that you are bringing that wisdom into the new year as well. So here we'll start with actually these cards for once. So we've got flow like water. Flow like water, which, it's funny, this card actually talks about like connecting to water. So that could be something that you guys want to do, find a way to connect to water, going to beaches, start swimming, anything like that. But whenever I see this card personally, it means going with the flow, learning to go with the flow, and again reiterating that lesson that you had about surrendering. So for 2023, bringing that in again, just knowing when to say like, this isn't for me to try and put energy into, wait, what do I want to say that? This isn't for me to worry about, basically. Like, you know, sometimes when it could be a money situation, you're like, okay, how the hell am I going to get enough money to pay for this? And sometimes you just have to be like, you know what, that isn't for me to worry about. Because some of us are blessed enough, I feel like most of us actually, I want to say all of us, but some of us more than others are blessed enough to be able to have that mindset and always receive what we need when we need it. So again, a bit like that manifestation power that you guys connected to, if you did in 2022, it's like trusting that you'll get what you need when you need it. So instead of fighting against it, instead of trying so hard and trying to control each and everything, it's like, do you know what? Spirit's got my back on this. I trust that. And when I need this thing, it will come to me. So we do also have here, build strength. So in 2023, you want to, you know, focus on your fitness. This doesn't have to actually just mean physical fitness. It can also mean mental resilience as well. So your resilience really coming in here. I feel like resilience was a big lesson for you as well in 2022, because, you know, you kept trying things and it didn't always work out. So bringing that into the new year, and that you know that you can be very resilient. So that is something that you can that you can feel confident about your resilience, you know, and building it up as well. Okay, and then finally we have love in spite of it all. And this card reads, before this odyssey ever began, there was you, your best friends, and wide-eyed curiosity among you about who would be the first to leap, the first to forget, the first to kiss, the first to tell, the first to fall, the first to get back up, and the first to remember that it all began with a dare, to love in spite of it all. I remember the glint in your eyes, all three of them. So this is like a message of like, before you awoke and you came to earth basically and forgot everything that happened, if you believe that. Then before then you decided to do that, and you decided to do it with love in your heart through it all. So love in spite of it all, because that's the commitment that you set for yourself. That is the commitment that you were so eager to achieve. So don't let that go, you know. Continue building that resilience, continue building that strength that you committed to. And again, this also taps into that childlike energy of reconnecting to your inner child and its wonder and its love that it has for all things and all people. Okay, finally, I wanted to use these. These are like personality traits, which sounds a bit weird, but I haven't really got to use them that much, so I wanted to use them for this reading. And I'm gonna like twist the messages a little bit to match the energy that is going to be coming into you for the year 2023, or kind of like, yeah, the energy that you'll be in in 2023, or that will be surrounding you. You'll see as we go. But yeah, so for those who chose, I keep doing this, leaving the crystal out. Sorry about that. All right, there's your crystal. Okay, so this is oh, there we go. Okay, that's probably the most that I've pulled. I don't even know if you can see all of them. Look at that. Crazy. It's crazy, bro. Okay, here we go. Well, let's start here, because we've got arrogant again, which was came out in option 1 and 2, which to me just feels like you guys are going to be feeling very self-assured, very confident in yourself in the year 2023. We have partier, so yeah, outgoing, going to parties, going to celebrations. Maybe there's just a lot to celebrate in 2023 as well. Idealist, so thinking very positively about things, feeling optimistic about the year and things that are happening for you. Religious, so you guys could be, it's funny that in your pile I felt particular about accounting for different belief systems. So maybe you are tapping more into your religious beliefs in 2023. Maybe you will be attending some kind of religious practice or something like that. And we have smile, so you're going to be feeling very happy, very smiley. Courageous and daring. Yeah, so taking risks in the new year. We have tall, so this actually makes it give me the energy of like standing up tall, being very confident in yourself, having a presence about you as well. You guys could also be getting into fitness with build strength here. You also have clever, so you guys are broadening your mind. You might be starting a course or something like that. Just in any way, you guys are becoming more clever about things. This could even just be like you're very clever about who you give your energy to, the things that you participate in and that you don't. Very I hear the word meticulous. So older, so you feel, well, you will be getting older, I'm guessing. Also wiser. I think you might also just present more of like an older, maturer energy as well in 2023. So we have sneakerhead here. Again, you're getting quite a few of the like similar energies to the other piles. So there was a lot of overlap for you guys in this pile. So you might be getting into shoes, sneakerhead. I also did say in another pile that got this, that they might be into like customizing shoes or something like that. So that we have popular in their community. So you guys could be growing some kind of fan base, following, or just connecting more to a community and growing kind of like, I don't know, friendships in that community as well. So well dressed. So I just heard the word suave. So you guys might be getting into fashion in the new year, you know, really. I think there's an element of like wanting to elevate yourself, and that's what it is. In 2023, there's like a real elevation of self, and not just inwards, but also outwards as well. So you guys have the personality type INTF, sorry, said that wrong, INTJ. So you guys could have this personality type. You could be exhibiting more of this personality type, or you could be meeting people with this personality type. So the typing system, whatever, will be linked down below if you want to check that out. We have artistic, so you guys are going to be feeling very artistic. Maybe you're going to be painting more, drawing more, being more creative. Gosh, you guys have so many. We also do have homebody, so again, a lot of the same similar energies. So feeling more connected to your home, wanting your comforts, owning the fact that maybe you don't really want to do things or go out at certain times, you know. We have Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus placements. So, okay, for this, you could either have these placements, you could be having a lot of 10th house energy, you could be going into your 10th house Profection year. You could also be feeling very career driven, feeling more self-reliant, also putting a lot of effort and being very hardworking in your approach to life in 2023. We have flexible, so yeah, you're bringing in that attribute of being more go with the flow and being a bit more flexible, not being so rigid, you know. We have athletic, so yeah, some of you guys could be getting into sports in some way, feeling a lot more fit physically. We have Aries, so Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising or Venus placements could be for you guys. You could be going into your first house Profection year. You could be, again, being more athletic, being more self-reliant, being more independent, being more self-assured. What else? Yeah, or first house energy as well. Having a lot of first house energy. Inspiring, so you guys are going to be coming across as very inspiring. Maybe you're really switching up your appearance or your life in some way, and it's really inspiring to other people. We have shopaholic. Yeah, I do feel like you guys are going to be spending a bit of money on looking good and feeling good. Oh my god, my nail polish is like coming off. So we have crystal child here. So for one thing, I do feel like you guys could be getting into crystals or something like that. You could also be getting into more like mythological concepts or energies, like really connecting to starseed energies, or discovering more about that kind of stuff, feeling more connected to it, especially as you've broadened your mind in 2022, I feel like. So we also have the personality type INFP, the mediator and the diplomats. So you could have this personality type, or you could be embodying it in 2023, or meeting more people with it, with that kind of personality traits in 2023. So intellectual, again, yeah, you're broadening your mind. You're really learning a lot about something. Could be just spirituality. It could be anything really. But an interest of yours, I feel like you're going to be learning a lot about it. So we have here good listener. So this could be a compliment. People are like, you're such a good listener, whatever. It could also be that a lot of people are listening to what you have to say because they find it endearing, I heard, but also important. You have a lot to say with meaning. Sustainable living. So that could be something that is an interest of yours in 2023. You want to work out how to be more sustainable. I also feel like maybe you want to figure out how to live more sustainably, in terms of like creating a routine for yourself, creating rituals for yourself that kind of create more consistency in your life. We have here workaholic. So yeah, working a lot. Fatherly, so coming into a bit more masculine energy in the new year. Thinking a bit more practically, thinking more long term, maybe coming out of more of that feminine yin energy that you found yourself in. So where that yin is very receptive and open and kind of has to surrender, or has that ability of trusting surrender, you guys might be feeling a bit more action orientated. New experiences, so you guys are going to be having lots of new experiences in the new year. We have pretty. So yeah, there's a lot to do with your appearance or something. Again, that first house perfection year could be happening for a lot of you, where you're switching up your appearance in some way. We have Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. So you could have these placements. You could have second house transit or second house perfection years. You could also have embodying more Taurus placements. So maybe you're thinking about your finances. You are changing the things that you value, or you are putting emphasis on the things that you value. Being very hardworking is very Taurasian. Indulging a lot more as well, very Taurasian. Okay, we're nearly there. Extroverted, so feeling more outgoing, extroverted, being more open and communicative with people. Oh, twin flame, so you could be meeting a twin flame. Maybe you have a twin flame and you could be like reconnecting with them, or maybe you meet someone who you have like a strong affinity to. We did have soulmate actually, so maybe you already met a soulmate in 2022 and things are like still blossoming between you, or things are still, there's a certain kind of energy here with someone else, let's say that. Oh, we also have no. So whereas another pile got yes, you guys got no. So you guys are going to be very open to saying no in the new year, and 2023 you're not going to be afraid to say no, basically. Okay, so that is everything that I have for you, option number 4. Thank you so much for coming to this reading. If you enjoyed it and it resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below. Let me know what parts resonate with you and how you enjoyed this reading. If this is the only video that you see from me, then I wish you guys a happy 2023, and I also wish you guys a happy holiday season, whether or not you celebrate Christmas, whether or not December is significantly important to you or not, but I just wish you a good season and a good month, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.